Hi, I'm Angi with News OK, and I'm joined by Triplett, entertainment editor of the Oklahoman. Now, we are talking about a story that he has written for the weekend look in tomorrow's Oklahoman, and it is about Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey in Fool's Gold. Now, we also have some audio clips coming up that we'll let you listen to here in a second. Tell us about the film.
Well, it's a romantic comedy. It's the second pairing of Matthew and Kate in a romantic comedy. The first being How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which was a huge hit back in 2003. So they're hoping that the formula is going to keep bubbling for this one. It's a romantic comedy set in the Caribbean, and Matthew plays this sort of irresponsible but affable modern-day treasure hunter who's after this 18th century treasure that was lost at sea in the Caribbean in 1715. And his wife's been involved with it, but she's finally fed up with his irresponsibility, and he's always borrowing money from loan sharks and stuff like that. So at the opening of the movie, she's waiting in a lawyer's office for him to come and sign her divorce papers. Of course, he shows up late because he's just blown up their boat, and then he's run into the bad guys who he owes money to, and had a confrontation with them. So he runs in late as usual, and it just goes on from there. They end up getting thrown back together under some complicated circumstances, and the treasure hunt forges on. They go through all kinds of misadventures. And,
Gotcha.
A lot of beautiful Caribbean scenery, which is actually shot in Australia because it was a hurricane season. And it's a beautiful movie to look at. And
I bet.
It has its moments. It's pretty good.
Wonderful. It kind of has that feel since Kate Hudson, her mom, Goldie Hawn, overboard. You know, when I just saw some previews, I was like, oh, that reminds me, which I haven't seen it yet, so it probably is nothing like that. But I was like, oh, look, mother and daughter are doing similar films.
Yeah.
So tell us, was Matthew and Kate, were they fun to talk to?
Oh, yeah. Well, like I mentioned, the chemistry that made that first film such a big hit is obvious when you're sitting in the room with them, because they're friends. They're just real tight friends that feel comfortable with each other. They like to spar and jab and kid and stuff like that, which it transfers to the screen real well. But it's genuine, and they kid each other a lot. I've got a little soundbite here where we're talking about their chemistry and why they got back together. And it begins with Kate talking about a scene where she whacks Matt over the head with a golf club.
Uh-oh.
So we can listen to that.
Yep, let's take a listen.
What was it that got you guys together on this, though? That you got to smack him in the head? Was that one of the
I know. I liked doing
that.
That was really fun. We got to do a lot, too.
Yeah, she wanted to do mini tapes.
We got to do a lot of this. For me, I was like, I was so excited to play the sort of exasperated, tough kind of, ex of his who, I always felt like the thing I think that, like, for instance, like How to Lose a Guy, the reason why that worked so well was because we loved being exasperated by each other. And that's kind of how I felt about this, except it was so different. The story's so different. And yet somehow the connection or the similarity of whatever it is that we do was there. And so when we finally got on its feet, it just came really easy.
Okay, that was Matthew and Kate talking about the movie. And tell us about, Matthew's getting ready to be a father. Kate is a single mom. Did they talk about parenthood at all?
Yeah, they did. Actually came up, in this particular film, there's a lot of dangerous stunt work, a lot of underwater work. Kate had to learn how to skin dive for this thing. She's got a 4-year-old son, Ryder, from her marriage that just recently broke up. And of course, Matthew's got a baby coming with Brazilian model Camila Alves, and so it was asked, well, are you guys worried about doing dangerous stunt work? With now that you're parents and all those kind of things that ever concern you? Well, Matthew had a few things to say about that, so we've got a soundbite for that.
Yeah, let's listen to it.
There's a lot of things you don't change. Whether you want to, the child's got to come in and be a part of the life that you have, and you and the child's mother has. And the question was posed. I'm talking about a film like this where we did a lot of stunts and got in a lot of dangerous situations. do you stop doing those? And, I mean, unequivocally, no. I don't want to be foolish, but
you also don't want to teach your children that
and you want to take
be afraid
them
of
out.
things.
You don't want to. I don't want a child that's going to come out and be afraid of
I mean,
training.
the obvious
That's going to be
things
afraid of the water.
change.
There's going to be.
The
Yeah, you
obvious
start
has
going
changed.
forward
Like
for a week.
the obvious has changed, which is the key to sleeping pattern. You don't get to sleep in anymore.
Well, that was Matthew and Kate again talking about their new movie Fool's Gold. And as a critic, I've got to say, it's not as funny as their first go around. It's a little bit lengthy and overcrowded with useless characters, but they do manage to ignite a spark like they did in their first film.
Yeah.
And like I said, a lot of pretty scenery.
Yeah.
So it's some light entertainment if they're if you don't have anything else to do on Saturday.
Yeah, and it's still a fun movie, I'm sure.
Sure.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much. That was perfect. Read more from Gene's story in the Friday, February 8th edition of the Oklahoman and on newsok.com. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.